Hey, SSIC, Nick Bauer here with another edition of an REI RockStar podcast. I'm very excited to have Matt Flores on the line. How you doing, buddy?
All right, how you doing, Nick?
I'm doing fantastic today, even though as the time when we're recording this, it's drainy and dreary out. It's rainy and dreary out, but that's sometimes when we can get a lot of stuff done at the office. And I certainly can be a testament to that. I've been knocking out of the park today, got a lot of stuff done. So, guys, the REI Rockstar podcast is brought to you in part by the SouthSide Investment Club, where we talk about all things real estate and real estate investing. We meet the second Thursday of each month. You can find us online at the SouthSideInvestmentClub.com or SSIC online and find out about all of our offerings to real estate investors here in the St. Louis area, everything that we do to help improve their investing experience, make more money, buy more deals through bus tours, 3-day events, our inner circle coaching, and just our online connectivity with all of our awesome members. This REI Rockstar podcast is designed to where we talk to members and we talk to vendors and we talk to people in the industry where we can connect outside of our main monthly case studies and speaker series the second Thursday of each month and showcase and highlight some of the amazing stuff that they've been able to do, which is why we have Matt on the line here today. But before we get to Matt, I want to talk about a couple of our sponsors to help make this podcast possible. The Sewell Law Firm, Michael Sewell, handles real estate transactions and disputes, along with business creation and litigation. Very, very good attorney. If you need to have a good attorney in your back pocket, Lawrence Hopkins with Longhorn Financial for direct lenders and hard money lenders does a great job with a lot of our members. Rebecca Meyer with Insight Title has been with us since the very beginning. If you need a very good and very nimble investor-friendly title company, I would strongly recommend giving Rebecca a call and see what she can help you out with. And last but not least, Graphic Connections. Those guys do direct mail right. And for all of your logo design or logo things, pens, paper, bags, hats, t-shirts, all that kind of stuff, not just direct mail, but they do that well. So, Matt, I got to tell you, man, you are a newer Inner Circle member. You came to our 3-day event about a month and a half ago now, right? Or something about like that. And that was the event where I lost my voice. I couldn't talk. And I love to talk, so that was really hard for me. But also, at the same time, you stayed after because I was having some computer issues linking up to my projector, and we got a chance to kind of connect one-on-one, and really, really impressed with you as a person, what you've been able to accomplish, and very humble with some of the shortcomings that you've had in your real estate investing business. So talk to me about what life used to be like, kind of where you came from, what you do on a daily basis, and what life used to be like when you were building up rentals in a former life, basically.
Yeah, great. So I bought my first duplex back in 2003. I was 26 years old, and
Nice.
it was a house hack. So I lived in one side and rehabbed the other side. And right today it's called a house hack. Back then it was called living one side, right the other side. So
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did that and completely, redid the other side of the duplex. I paid way too much more money for the duplex, even before I did the rehab. So made a bad decision there. It's kind of funny. I'm big into podcasts and books, and you always hear you pay for your education, and either you pay for it by getting involved with an organization, buying the education, or you do it from the School of Hard Knocks. And I was 26, thought I knew everything. But I was an expert and lost a lot of money doing that. So I paid for my education multiple times. So I kind of wish, looking back, I wish I'd have had an organization that would help me walk through the process. I wouldn't have overpaid in the first place. But anyways, I bought it. Great experience. I learned a ton. But then I bought another 8 properties with my parents over the next 4 years. And my dad and I would work day and night. During the week, we'd bring our clothes with us in the car. We'd go to work, all day, and then or after work, go straight to the property, work till about 9, 10 o'clock at night, do the same thing. We did it for probably about 3 years. Weekends, the same way. We'd get up at 7 in the morning, beat the property by 7:30 or 8, work till 8 or 9 o'clock. It was just nonstop. So we used the BRRRR method, the buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. Back then, you could name the appraisal price. So we
Yeah.
would get huge appraisal prices, take the
And
money
name
out.
your income and name the rents. I mean, it was really easy to do.
It was real easy. It was dangerous because, again, I didn't know what I was doing really. And luckily, I still have all the properties. I never lost them. But, my parents and I, we were financing those properties for the past 10 years. It was terrible. I mean, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have probably bought any of those properties.
Well, hindsight is 2020, right? So right. Don't beat yourself up. Trust me, I've done some bonehead moves and continue to make some bonehead moves. I mean, we all do. Hopefully, we do less bonehead moves and they're less impactful into our business. But it's just we're humans, right? We're not going to do everything correctly. So don't beat yourself up over that. But so talk to me about so you've had those for the last 10 years and you bought them because remember. You rewind back 2004, 2005, 2006, we had a killer market, right? And yeah, we all know the reasons why. Inflation, or it was inflated because there was more buyers, because there was more loans and all that kind of stuff. But we had a killer market and not too many people saw the writing on the wall. So you were buying these things thinking you were doing all the right stuff, just like a lot of other people were too, but you were able to manage the storm or weather the storm and get through it all. And like you said, hold on to them. But then you moved up in the world, got a better job and a little bit more time demanding and things like that. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, after I bought those properties and the 2008 happened, I couldn't get funding. I didn't know what private money was. I didn't know I could go to a bank and get a commercial loan. I had no idea about this stuff. And this stuff I've learned over the past couple of years. So I stopped and I was burned out. I mean, my dad and I, we were working, like I said, nights and weekends. And I kind of checked out of rental properties. I mean, I managed them poorly, wasn't collecting rent checks as well as I should have. And then I'd say about 2 years ago, I realized that I hadn't collected rent from one property for literally 6 months. I had no idea. So that really hit me in the head, and I sat at my kitchen table and thought to myself, what am I doing? Should I just exit out of the rental business? I'm just work on my job 9 to 5 for the next another 20 years of my life. And I realized I've learned too much the hard way, and I've paid for my education in many ways. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. So for the last 2 years, I really tightened up my existing properties, collecting rent, responding to customer issues. Tenant moved out, I was on it right away. I didn't wait 2 months to get it rent ready. I mean, it was literally that slow. So it's gone pretty well over the past couple of years. I've collected lots of rent. I ran my numbers yesterday, and I think I collected rent at a 95% rate for those properties last year, which is awesome. In the past, it was probably 85%. It was really, really bad. And then I've also, the past couple of years, purchased 5 properties, so a total of 9 doors. Over 5 properties, and I've been all in, focusing completely on. I mean, I listen to podcasts and books in the car all the time, and I've learned so much, and I knew that along with reading books and podcasts, I needed to connect with a community. I mean, all the books and podcasts, they always said you have to join a local REIA, and don't just go to the REIA and sit in the back of the room and just listen and be a wallflower, but actually engage with people, network, be active. So I kind of figured, you know what, I need to get involved with SSIC, which is a big reason why I joined, to network, and I need to learn more because I made lots of mistakes. So I wanted to learn more. I want to find out how to find properties. I also want to share my experiences. I mean, I've made mistakes, and I've learned a lot of people who've been in business for a long time have made a lot of mistakes. And it's okay, because I thought it was just me who was an idiot, but I realized a lot of people made mistakes. So I didn't feel as bad, although I still upset how I managed them. But
well, yeah, but check it out, man. Because I mean, let's unpack a lot of stuff that you said there, because you said some really good things. And first of all, that you didn't quit, you didn't give up. You're going to take the experience that you've learned and say, okay, I paid some expensive lessons on that. I paid a premium for some lessons here. I'm going to apply those that knowledge that I have, and don't make those same mistakes again, and go out and do it right. And what's interesting about that is that's the right attitude to take, right? Because I've definitely made some bonehead moves, and when I've done that, Well, I could give up, I could quit, or I could say, listen, I just spent a lot of money for that education, right? I know not to do that then. I'm infinitely better investor than I am today than I was a year ago, than I was 5 years ago, than I was certainly 20 years ago, right? It's just because sometimes we learn from our mistakes more than we actually learn from our rewards. Because when we do something and we hit something out of the park and we buy this great deal, it's like the hot hands fallacy in basketball. You make 10 free throws in a row. Well, I can't lose. I'm going to make another 10 free throws in a row, right? If I buy a house or two or three and they're going great, well, I've got that golden touch and everything I'm touching is turning to gold. And then I kind of take my eye off of what the details are, what the basics are, the fundamentals of this business. And that's where I found that I've made my mistakes, is because I just kind of get loose with it because I'm like, oh, I can't lose, right? So I'm infinitely like those lessons that you've learned, you wised up and said, hey, I'm not going to do that again. I've paid for that education. I'm going to go out there and not make those mistakes and recognize the fact that, hey, I'm not going to do this. This is what I am going to focus on. And now you're, tuned in and just into the knowledge base of YouTube University and podcasts and all those things, plugging into a resource, a local tribe like SSIC, to help you do that. How important was that for you, the local aspect of that, of being able to connect in with other people that are doing business right here in our town?
It's great. I mean, one, it's a network. I'm working with people who are wholesaling properties. So I can potentially pick up some properties from members and the network within the area, which is huge. I don't, that's huge for me because I'm having a hard time finding properties these days. But then secondly, it's motivating. I mean, none of my friends are in the rental business, and I'm kind of on my own. And my real estate friends in the past have been books and podcasts. So I wanted to connect with people who are out there in the business, actively doing it and working hard, and supporting me when things go well, and help me through when things aren't going well, and hoping I can provide the same thing for the members as well.
That's interesting because none of my friends do real estate either. None of them. And it's bizarre that all my friends in real estate, it's like so segmented. I've got real estate friends and I've got non-real estate friends. But that is interesting that you say. That's why you are needing to connect in with like-minded investors, because none of your friends are doing this business, and so you have nothing to relate to. They have nothing to talk to about, and like, hey, I've got this issue, and they're like, yeah, let's go play golf. I don't know anything about that. Interesting. So, okay. So talk to me about, so you just joined up and teamed up with our inner circle, and I think Craig's your coach, is he not?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And you sat through Launchpad, which is a newer offering that SSIC did. Talk to me about the experience of going through that weekend of really focusing on your business and having other people provide you input as to what you should be focusing your time on.
Yeah, so I think probably what was really impactful for me was going through the process of outlining why I'm doing it and what my goals are. I mean, prior to joining, I have a lot of documentation that I've written down on my own about what my goals are and why I'm doing it, but it was very disjointed. And I needed somebody or something to kind of move away all the obstacles. Say, look, this is great that you're talking about, but it's not what you really need. Don't focus on that. And that's what Launchpad really provided to me, was helping me kind of distill it down to what's important to me. Got me to focus on certain areas of St. Louis that I want to buy in, and also kind of the strategies I'm going to use to find properties. Don't worry about some of the ancillary stuff that isn't right for me. And sitting through that weekend, and first of all, hearing you guys say it's okay that you made mistakes, it's normal, it's part of the process, but you didn't quit and you're here and you're learning, was very helpful. And then I walked away with some strategies around, you know what, you need to go focus on this. Don't worry about A, B, and C. You need to focus on this item right here, these 2 or 3 items. So I walked with a couple of those items, and that's kind of what I've been focusing on are those few things. But then also hearing about the other folks in the room as well who went through the same process, kind of hearing the advice you gave to them, I could pull pieces out from there as well. And so, you know what, that applies to me too. And then a couple times I jumped in and provided my perspective for the other folks as well. So I added some value, but it was a good experience overall, man. I'm really glad.
It's pretty neat, especially I kind of found out several years ago what I'm really good at in life, and that's telling other people what to do, right? And I like doing it, but it actually goes a little bit beyond that, because a good mentor or a good coach will maybe not even tell you what to do, but ask you questions and help you arrive to that on your own, right? And if you come to the wrong conclusion, we'll smack you on the face and say, no, you're wrong. But that's, kind of teaching people to fish instead of fishing for them is kind of the mentality. But when you're in a room with other people and you're able to provide your input, and that you had impact on that, and it's maybe something they had a thought about, that actually helps you out too, being able to do that. And I found that over the past 5 or 6 years, I'm a better investor just because I've told or helped other people arrive to decisions where it's crystal clear what I think they need to do. And sometimes I'll either just flat out tell them, or sometimes I'll just let them come up with what they need to have or what they need to do to solve that challenge or break through that barrier, break through that wall. And I get better. In fact, I recently had something in my business wasn't working the way that it should be. It was not broken, but it just wasn't on optimum level. And it took me about an hour to fix it. But I had to step back and recognize that it was there, and then say, okay, well, if this was someone that I was working with, what would I tell them to do? And I told myself everything that I needed to do and was able to fix it relatively quickly versus having that fester, right? And I think a lot of times on our own, we're not really wanting to do that. We kind of become complacent with things. Hey, it's going okay. I don't really want to spend the time on fixing it. But once you recognize that and do that, boy, that's really good. It's hard to do that in your own. When you have someone holding you accountable, that's really kind of what helps get some massive action. And one of the things that I really respect about you is not only did you contact me after Launchpad and say, hey man, this was awesome. I do kind of think that was one of the better things that the SouthSide Investment Club has done over the last 12 years is running that. That was good for me. It was good for the people in the room, and I'm really excited that we added that to our Inner Circle offerings. But after that, you went out and bought a property because of what you're focused on. You are so laser focused right now, and that's props to you, because you went out and said, okay, this is what I need to be focused on, so this is what I'm doing. If it doesn't fit into this box, I'm not doing it. And you went out and started making a massive amount of phone calls, and you ended up buying a property. Talk me through that process of what you were doing, how you got that deal, and then what those numbers are.
Yeah, can I add one thing in about the Launchpad?
Sure.
So I was telling Craig this at the event, and that I read a book. I think it's called, I forget what the book's called, but there's a group called Tiger 21, and it's a super high level mastermind. And these guys, it's $100,000 buy-in to be part of this group. It's a ton of money, but these guys are worth millions. But they have to they meet, I think, once or twice a year in Phoenix from all over the country, and they have to defend what they've done over the last year, lay out all their financials and explain what they did, what progress they made. And you have all these high-level people coming in and encouraging and challenging those decisions, and helping those folks redirect. And that's why when I heard that Launchpad was part of the Inner Circle, I was like, that's awesome. So I was super pumped to be involved in that. So I just wanted to share that piece, because I remember reading the book a year ago, and then I hear about this. I'm like, yes, Launchpad, I'm in. That's great.
That's awesome.
It met my expectations for sure.
Awesome.
So yeah, I came across a for sale by owner on Zillow about a month ago. And usually when something's on Zillow, it goes super fast. And I don't win bidding wars because I'm not going to pay that much, because I've gotten burned in the past. I don't know how I got this under contract, but I did somehow. And I think one of the reasons was I called her that same day. I called her the next day, and I called her the day after that. Because one thing that I learned in this group was follow up is key. I think it was Jeff Carlton said you got to follow up as it comes to direct mail, and I just applied that to I'm going to call her until she calls me back. So I called her every day, and I finally got a call back, and we hit it off on the phone, and I met with her, and I had a chance to learn her situation. She was in a bad situation, paying like 10% interest on a property that she bought 3 or 4 years ago. She couldn't refinance it because the property didn't appraise out for what she was told it was going to appraise out by the person who sold it to her. So she was in a bad situation. The more I talked to her, the more I learned the predicament that she was in. So I got it under contract. I was actually at the REI Black Book meeting conference, and I signed the contract over the lunch hour.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. So I've not closed on it yet. We're still working some of the details, getting the sewer inspection done. But one thing that you talk about why people should buy for two wholesalers is we can make the process easy. So I'm trying to go out of my way to make the process easy for her. An example was we have to get sewer inspection done. She doesn't have a lockbox. She lives in Illinois. I said, hey, I'll take care of the lockbox. Don't worry about it. She thought that was the greatest thing ever. I told her I would pay the closing costs. She thought that was phenomenal as well. So it's those little tidbits that I've taken away that I've been able to use to where she's looking at me like somebody who's really helping her out and solving her problem. And
because you are.
Yeah.
Because you are. And the thing is that I'm sure that's not the first for sale by owner that you've called.
No.
And the point that I'm getting at here is you said, okay, I'm going to start generating my own leads, and this is the laser focused area that I'm at, and this is the laser focused activities that I'm going to do. And you went out and did that. And so congratulations and props to you. You need to get a video testimonial from her so you can put that on your website and tell that to other people. So if you run across other tired landlords or other tired investors, hey, give me a shot because I might be able to help that go away. I'm really strong in this area. Let me come out and take a look, see at your house and see what we can do. Mm-hmm. I was able to help this person out. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, so definitely, as a result of you taking action and putting that together, you're able to help that person out. You're going to gain wealth for you and your family. You're building wealth through equity and cash flow, and it's a pretty decent investment for you because you know what you're doing, and that person kind of got stuck with that thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's awesome, man. That's very, very cool. And you want to add 9 more doors by the end of this year, right?
I'd like to, but it's going to be tough. But if something, I'm not going to compromise my standards as far as all-in price versus rent price and location. So I have to work really, really hard to get the 9. So it might be a challenge, but I'd rather shoot for the stars and land at the moon than not have a lofty goal.
Well, right. You're not going to buy 9 doors just to buy 9 doors. You're going to buy 9 quality deals, and that is going to be a challenge to do, and it is going to be a challenge to get those quality doors, but you could get 5 next month if you put your mind to it, right? So there's no glass ceiling in this business, and if you put your mind to something and you surround yourself with the right folks and you have a support group and you've got your plan and you're laser focused and you've got your activities that you can be doing on a daily basis, you can get that done, man. That's awesome. So and on top of that, you're a dad, a husband, and you work a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
You kind of have your hands full.
Yeah, it's fun. I stay busy.
You do stay busy. Well, hey man, listen, thanks for joining us. I mean, I like having some of our members be on a podcast and just kind of talk, because I think that helps other people relate. Like, hey, yeah, I want to do what that guy's doing, or I've done what that guy's done, and I can relate to that, right? And I think it's a really good kind of work through of what some of our members go through and everything like that. So tickled pink that you decided to join us and link arms with us at the Inner Circle, and we've been working with you to incorporate you into our group and buy some houses and have some fun, make some money. And I look forward to helping you achieve your success in the next year and getting to those 9 doors and possibly beyond.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot. It's been a great experience so far.
Awesome. Well, tell you what, man, maybe we'll check back with you later on this year and see what you were able to accomplish, or just talk about a cool deal that you just picked up or anything like that. Thanks for being on the call, guys. Again, thanks to our vendors who sponsor the REI Rockstar podcast, the Sewell Law Firm, Longhorn Financial, Insight Title, Graphic Connections, and come out to a meeting sometime. The second Thursday of each month, we talk about all things real estate and real estate investing. We have great topics and speakers throughout the year. You can find us on the SouthSideInvestmentClub.com or SSIC online, and we run bus tours, educational bus tours, and the 3-day events, and we've got a killer coaching program where we work with people one-on-one, people like Matt, and we're helping people out, and we love doing it. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in to another edition of the REI Rockstar podcast featuring Matt Flores. This has been fun. Thanks again, Matt. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It was fun.
Cool. All right, guys. Nick signing off. We'll see you at the top or from the top. Talk to you soon.